Welcome to the intro training exercises for Sharperlight and SAP Business 1. This is exercise 7 and 8. Please follow the video carefully, and if needed, use the PDF listed within the description for further information. Exercise 7 covers naming filters and filtered columns. Exercise 8 covers prompt-only filters and period options. This exercise continues with the query we defined in exercise 5a. The naming of filters and output columns is an important concept because the name becomes a reference that can be reused within the query builder. It is a bit like naming a worksheet cell in Microsoft Excel and then using the name in the Excel formula instead of the cell reference, or hard coding the value. Filtered columns are outputs that have been specifically targeted by selected filters. This is quite useful, as without them, filters apply to the entire query. The ability to target outputs with filters specifically gives more flexibility to queries. A typical use case of filtered columns is setting multiple aggregated amount columns, but having each set to a specific status type. To start, let's add a new filter for document status. Set its status to O for open. Now right-click on Document Status. From here, we can change either the name or description. You can also select to go to the filter options, and in the Attributes tab, you can change both. Change the name to Status Open and the description to Status Open. We want to add another filter for document status and have it be similar to the one we just changed, but this time be for closed statuses. Add another filter for document status and set its value to C for closed. Then we want to change its name to status closed and description to status closed. Next, change the description for the output document total to total. We will now duplicate this output, but with the intention of having either the open or closed filters targeting them. Add an output for document total. Change the description to open. Then right-click on the output and go to Options. Click on the Functions tab. Here we have a pane for Apply filters to this output, where we can define filtered columns. It will have a list of available filters that you can tick to confirm that they are to target the selected output. We want this document total for open to be targeted by the status open filter, so tick that box. Click OK to save your settings. Now the output is a filtered column. Add another output for document total. Change its description to closed. Then again go to the output options, and in the Attributes tab we want to have it filtered by the Status Closed filter. Click OK. You should notice that our filtered columns can be identified by a blue color in the Outputs pane. Preview the query. We should now see three outputs for document total. Total is the conventional output with no specific document status. Open is filtered by document status, only returning data when it is open. Closed is doing the same, but only when the status is closed. For exercise 8, we want to define a new query. Make sure the report mode is set to Summary Report. Company is OEC Computers UK. Then using the table lookup, find and select GL transactions. Set the GL account code to be 400,000 to 410,000. Then add the outputs account code, account name, and amount. In this exercise, we will apply a pseudo field, which is a type of prompt-only filter. Prompt-only filters are filters which do not apply their filters to the query. Their use is in their ability to hold values, which can then be used elsewhere in the query. Pseudo fields are like prompt-only filters, but where prompt-only filters are only over available fields, pseudo fields are virtual fields that are hard-coded as prompt-only. In this example, we will add a pseudo field for a period, then have another period filter use its value to calculate a range between the year start to the given period. Right-click in the Filters pane and go to Other. You will find various data types available for pseudo fields. As we want a period, select Period. Set its description to Period. You should then see your pseudo field populate. Please note that any prompt-only filters will have a cream color. Double-click or right-click and go to the Filters options, where we can change the name to be Period, and also set its behavior to be single values only. Then set its value to 2009-011. We want to make sure that the pseudo field for period is above our filter year period code, as filters can only reference other filters that are above them. For our filter year period code, we want to reference the period. For the from parameter, click the drop down and select @period. If your to parameter did not also update to @period, do the same. The denotes a filter, so we know @period is a reference to the filter called period, which is the pseudo field we just created. For the from parameter, we want to set this to calculate the beginning of the year relative to the period past. Add OYS after a space to the value. OYS is a shortcode for on year start. Other shortcodes exist, and you can find them when using the lookup on the filter under Options or using the offsets. Preview the query. You should now see data for the periods between 2009-001 and 2009-011. This concludes the training for exercise 7 and 8 for SAP Business One. For more information and in-depth explanations, please refer back to the training PDF.